giving me my thoughts.
Right? Do you think it's bad or good?
Well, I think that sometimes just saying something is bad or good by itself is not appropriate. Is it possible, if the mine goes through, that it could keep people in jobs and make billions of dollars for this state over the span of 30, 40, 50 years? That doesn't seem to me to be a bad thing. And we look behind us here. Construction gives people jobs, and it creates a better place. They're talking about the mine might be worth $500 billion. That's a lot of money that could be flooding into our economy. On the bad side, what does happen if there's a huge environmental problem, and it does wipe out the fishery? With that in mind, talking with a couple of economists here in the state, they have said if the mine goes through, then maybe the mining company should have to put up, or maybe for the first 10 years, put all of the profits into a fund so if something does happen, people can be paid off. I mean, the mine, $500 billion is such a huge number compared to how much fish has actually produced in terms of dollars. It's almost laughable. Now, you still, though, worry about what is the number one thing about Alaska, and that is its beauty, the wildness, and the salmon. And we don't want that to go away, but we also have to balance that with, we also want to grow our state. So, is it bad? Is it good? It could be awesome. It could also be really bad. But that's why people have to make decisions.
Do you think Pebble Mine can affect the water near Mount Dalton, Alaska?
Well, that's what people say, for sure.
Do you think after Pebble Mine is done and over with, the people that created it will
Hold on, before you ask that question, anything can affect water somewhere. Look at these roads here. Roads are made of asphalt and tar and oil, and when water runs off of that and runs into the Kenai River, we affect the Kenai River. So, is a mine going to affect? Yes. Now, there is a mine way up north, I think it's the Red Dog Mine, that stream near the Red Dog Mine is actually cleaner now than when the Red Dog Mine went in, because they're taking all of these metals out of the soil that were actually polluting the river. So anyway, next question.
Do you think after Pebble Mine is done and over with, the people that created it will clean up their mess, or let it stay for us to live in?
Well, companies, just like people, will get away with whatever they're allowed to. When you hear people talk about these mining companies and their history of their dealings in other parts of the world, those governments allowed them to get away with things. Those governments took the money from them and allowed those companies to do whatever they wanted, and then they went away and left a mess. People will do whatever they can to get away with whatever they can. So I don't think we put it on the company. I think we put it on our state. Our state makes them clean.
Do you think the short-term effects of Pebble Mine are worth the long-term effects, like air pollution, chemical in the water, and fish dying?
I sort of addressed that in the first question, but I think you have to balance it. In the long run, and I like that, short run, long run. Now, short run with that mine, I mean, it could be 30, 40, 50 years. Long run could be, what, 100, 200 years. And could it have adverse effects? Yes. Could the positive effects outweigh those? That's what people are going to have to decide. Not a very good answer, but that's the one I'm sticking with.
Do you think it will affect animals other than salmon?
Well, I'm sure it'll affect them somehow. But people talk about the pipeline and drilling up on the North Slope affects the caribou, and the caribou seem to be doing really well up there. Did it affect them? Yeah, because you know there's pipes there now, and they have to move around them and all that. But it doesn't seem to have serious adverse effects.
Put yourself in the people of non-Dalton, Alaska's shoes. Do you think you would like the concept of the Pebble Mine or dislike the concept of Pebble Mine?
What was that again?
Put yourself in the people of non-Dalton, Alaska's shoes. Do you think you would like the concept of Pebble Mine or dislike it?
Well, that's a tough one, and I think again it's one of those depends. That a lot of village communities are very, very poor. You see some village communities that have a lot of money because of oil. I think some of those communities out there are pretty poor because they don't have oil. And so I would believe, as someone who lives in non-Dalton, probably be on either side, just like I've said. There's going to be some people that say, I want a job, I want a better living, I want to make more money, I want to be able to build a better house, I want to not be on food stamps or government assistance. And then there's going to be people that say, this is a way of life, we've been doing this for thousands of years, we don't want to take a chance on harming the salmon. But I would think, and I may be wrong, but I would think that probably most of the people there would rather have a higher standard of living and take a chance.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And what a nice day. Oh my goodness. How fun is this? I turn the camera off.